A shared preferences object points to a file containing key and value pairs and provides simple methods to read and write them. Each shared preference file is managed by the framework and can be private or shared. Hi guys, welcome back to Perfect eLearning channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more technical content. In today's video, you will learn about one of the important Android development topics, which is Introduction to Shared Preference. So let's get started. Hi everyone, how are you all? I hope everybody is staying safe, doing well in the course. Well, today what we're going to do is something which is very interesting and is very useful, and that is known as saving the data or storing the data permanently in your Android apps in your local mobile phones. So you might have seen various examples wherein you log into one of the applications, and even if you close the application and when you open it again after closing, you're still logged in, right? So that is done using saving the data permanently. So if you're not using any of such feature, then once I log in and I close the app, then I might need to log in again and again when I open the app. So that's what a user doesn't want, right? So there are various ways of saving the data permanently. So we could use shared preferences, we could use SQLite database, we could use some, other memory options like cache and all, but we'll be focusing more on these two, that is shared preferences and SQLite databases, right? So let's start off with the shared preferences and you'll see the magic as to, how this shared preferences work. And you're actually going to see that even if you close the application, okay, you kill the application, but still the data is going to be remained in the application. It's like in case of you all might be using WhatsApp. So once you log in through your mobile phone and you enter the OTP and you close WhatsApp and you open it again, you'll be logged in, right? However, if you uninstall the application or you delete the data of the application, then you might need to log in again, right? Because the data is lost in that case, right? So that is similar using shared preference. So what is a shared preference? Um, it's basically a file, okay? So a file in your mobile phone. So it keeps all the values in the file in the form of a key and a value. Like we studied JSON, right? So similarly, in that format, in the key and the value, similar to a map, you can say, or dictionary you might have studied in Python, right? So in that format, it saves all the data, okay? And it's very important that it is application specific, okay? So the data will be lost in two conditions. As I told you, one, if you uninstall the application, or second, if you clear the application data, you can clear that using settings option in your phone, right? If you do these two options, then the data would be cleared. Otherwise, the data would be remain even if you close the application and open it again. Okay, so that's the use case of shared preference. Now the question comes how to access the shared preference. So there are three methods to do that. So there are get preference, get shared preference, or get default shared preference. So what is get preference? So it is basically from within your activity only one activity. Okay. However, get shared preference is the one that we'll be using. So it is basically at the application level, right? To whole application. Third one is get default share preference. It is something that works with the overall Android. That's not we won't be using. We won't be using get preference also. We would be using something which is get shared preference. So how to access it? It contains of two parameters. Number one is the preference name. That will be the name of the file which will be saved in your Android phone. Okay. So you can give any name of the file, but you need to use the same name while accessing the data. And mode. So mode is usually private that we use. There are a lot of modes. That's not very much important. So we'll be focusing on the private mode only, right? So let's straight away go ahead to coding, right? And let's try and make something which is like this. Okay, so it's similar to login. It tells the user to enter the email ID and password. So for example, I enter this. So any email ID would work, and password, and I click on save. So now it gets saved in my shared preference. Now even I clear it and it's going to get, okay. Now even if I close the application and now I go ahead, open the application again, and I try to get that, I got the data, right? However, if I try to, let me kill the application. Now let me get it again. And now let me try to get it. It's still saved, right? However, if I uninstall the application, or if I'm going to, delete the data of the application, how to delete the data of any application? You go to settings, and here you go to the apps. You can go to all apps, go to that particular app of shared preference. Right? Okay, not this one. Yes. And now if you go and clear the data, okay, I cleared the storage. So all the data would be cleared. Now if I go ahead and open the application, now if you try to get it, you won't get anything. You see? So once the data is cleared, you won't be getting it now. So this is similar to as if uninstalled the application and installed it again. Clearing the data is similar to that. Okay. So I hope what is the shared preference, what is the use case is perfectly clear. In the next class, we'll be working with the actual coding of making this particular application. Till then, you can go ahead, give it a try. I told you the method to use, right? So just try and see you in the next class. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.